Hello crafty friends, this is the Papered Chef here. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to cut out stamped images using the Brother ScanNCut. I'm using my favorite stamp set, This Little Piggy, because This Little Piggy makes me smile every time I see it. Not only that, I'm a Stampin Up demonstrator, and this stamp set has returned for the third year in a row, so our catalog in June will have it as well, and it's a current item. So that made me excited because although I was going to keep this stamp set no matter what, it's great that when I send out all these samples to my customers, like I'll be doing in my next survival kit mailing, then they will get something with the little piggy on it in every package. And it makes me smile, and I hope it makes them smile too. Okay, this is about the easiest stamp set you can get for the ScanNCut. It has nice, well-defined black lines. Most of the images are enclosed, like this grass wouldn't cut out good, but the actual piggy itself would. The lines are connected. You don't need to use a lot of pencil marks to connect things. You can cut out parts of the pig and make a mask for your coloring. And we'll get into those things because you'll get to see how I've made masks in the past and how I'm going to use them to color. All right, so prior to this video, let me just peel this off the mat. I have stamped a page of Piggies. This is my favorite one of all the Piggies, the flying pig, because I use Wink Stella or glitter on the wings. And it just makes me smile. I usually also, when I'm doing certain projects, I cut a little slit there and I make the pig hold something like she's flying with a banner in her hands. I've held different messages for different kinds of cards in the past. And this is probably like video number 6 in my playlist for This Little Piggy. I've had many other projects I've shown with this. So when you lay your paper on the mat, so prior to this video, I've stamped these in Memento Black ink, okay, onto Whisper White cardstock. I wanted to make sure I said that. You lay your paper on the mat, and then you turn on your ScanNCut, and you go to scan, okay? And then you're going to go to direct cut, because we're going to directly cut out this page of stamped images. We're going to save it to the machine, which is where we temporarily store our stamped images. Let me get my stylus so my finger doesn't get in the way. I'm using black and white recognition mode because they're well-defined lines around this piggy. And I'm just going to hit start. So if you're new to the ScanNCut, I highly recommend this stamp set. I'll have a link in the comments and in the description on how to get this little piggy. Because it's a great one to start out. You'll get used to using your ScanNCut, and then you're going to get to see the different things you can do with it. Not all stamped images are this easy to be recognized. All right, so the ScanNCut recognized a page of images. Let's see how it did. We're going to say OK. OK, 8 out of 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 out of 9, that's good. We'll save the other one. We'll need that. OK, we're going to, first of all, we want to add an outline distance of 0.01 around the pig. So let's do that. I'm sorry, 0.04. Not 0.01, 0.04. It's the smallest increment you can get. Look. OK? So if you go up, that's the smallest increment, 0.04. Okay, we'll say OK. Now, here's where you have to do something. All of these words, because in the stamp set it says this line, she believes she could. Well, we could put a rectangle around that and cut that out another time, but that's another story. Right now we need to get rid of this. We know that this pig is a couple inches wide, so it's safe to say that if we get rid of anything like a half an inch, an inch, these will not make the pig disappear. We want to ignore object size. So when I say get rid of, we're going in here and we're ignoring object size. And as we go up, it's ignoring the letters, and I think I have them all. I don't even think I need to go all the way up to even half an inch. Okay? It means that it ignored all the words. It's not going to cut them. We don't want to cut those. Not individual letters. We would want to cut those maybe, but at a different time, not now. Right now we're just cutting pigs. We're going to say OK. We're going to say OK again. OK, so there's our pigs. We're going to cut them out. Now I'm using, if you have an auto blade, then you just use your auto blade and see what depth it uses. I happen to have a CM350 or ScanNCut 2, so I'm just going to set my blade to 4. Whisper White cardstock. Regular cardstock, I'd use a 5. And so to set your blade, you just go all the way up to 12 and roll it back. So mine's a 4, even just a little smidgen more. My blade's pretty sharp. We're going to say cut, and okay, now it's going to take 2 minutes, so I'll see you in a minute. I'll pause the video after I start. Or I'll stop the video and start again. I restarted the video. So now what we're going to do is we're going to say okay, and we're going to unload the mat. And then we're going to take that last piggy and we'll do something else with the last piggy. So here's the mat. I've unloaded it, and let's see how we're just going to peel the whisper white off, and there are pigs. Awesome, awesome pigs. And now you can just take your little spatula that came with your machine, and you can peel these off the mat, or just, the mats are usually not very sticky. I restuck this mat. I have tips and tricks on how to restick your mats, by the way, if you're new to my channel. And if you like Brother ScanNCut things, I have about 100 videos on the ScanNCut, so please subscribe if you're interested in that topic. And if you're interested in Stampin' Up products, I have loads of Stampin' Up demonstrations. I have loads of craft fair ideas. So please check it out. Okay, there you go. I'm just getting rid of all the pigs. Now I'm going to save that last pig that we didn't cut out, and I'll show you what we could do with it. Okay, I'm taking the pig that didn't cut out, and I cut it out off the paper, and I'm just putting it on another part of the mat, and to see if it will scan over here. Let's just put a little piece of painter's tape on there to hold it in place. So there's our last pig. Let's see if we can get this one to be recognized. So we're going to go up and we're going to say, turn on your machine. Okay, we're going to say scan, direct cut, save it to the machine, black and white recognition mode, load the mat, start. So we load the mat and we start. And if you still can't get it to cut after moving it to different parts of the mat, then you just give up. There's no sense in frustrating yourself ever if something won't cut out, because it's only stamps, ink, and paper. Not a big deal. But once you do get it to cut out, I mean, you can work wonders with it. It's really, really fun. The things you can do. I can't wait to make samples to send out of this stamp set. Okay, we're going to say okay, and it did a good job, and that we just moved the one that didn't cut to another part of the mat. So let's, just for the sake of, we're going to just zoom into that part so it doesn't have to think so hard. We don't have to worry about all the dirt on the mat. Let's go ahead and ignore object size. Ignore. Go ahead and, I don't know, up to ½ inch. We want to get rid of all these things. Even that little bit. That one we can get rid of in a minute, this little stray bit. We're going to say okay, and okay, and okay again. Now notice, one thing, crafty friends, I'm going to focus in there. Right now, we are not using the outline distance, because I said, I just wanted to show you something about how to make a mask for coloring. So in this case, if you want to cut out once with an outline distance, and then you cut out the same image again without an outline distance, you'll have a template for coloring. I have other templates made of other materials, which I'll address in a minute, but I really want you to understand this concept. Okay, let me just review before we go on. We have cut a little piggy out of the stamp set using an outline distance of 0.04. That's how we cut this one right here. We used an outline distance of 0.04. Now we are not going to do that. For this next piggy that we just recognized, this was the one that wasn't recognized before. It's recognized now, but we're not going to put an outline distance around it. Okay, we're not. We're going to just cut out the black line, right along the black line, no outline distance. Okay, and so at this point, I'm using the same exact paper. I'm using Whisper White cardstock, but in a minute I'll address the other papers you can use to make stencils or mask for your projects. So that's okay. And let's get rid of that little stray bit. That little stray bit was just, I don't know what that is. Probably just a little piece where I cut the paper. Go into the little editing mode here with the little shapes and get rid of that, just trash it. And now we have just a piggy. And again, same blade depth as before. Let's make sure. Still, oh, no, it moved down a little. My blade is shaky. It was back down to 4 and cut and start. So I'm not going to stop the video this time. I'm just going to go ahead and cut the piggy out without that outline distance. So there's a couple ways you could have done this. I just used the same paper, and you can make a mask out of the same paper. But another way you could have done this was like using a different kind of paper. So let's just unload the mat. And we're done with the ScanNCut for now, because we can get into the coloring portion. Okay, so here's what I just did. Here's what I just did. I cut out the piggy. Oops, where'd he go? Without the outline distance. Okay, so now I can take this and I can use this for coloring. So let's just use the paper one for a minute, just so you get the concept. The concept is, you know, the idea. Or, I'm going to talk about it. Actually, the wings are another issue. Okay, so, but the concept is you have You have a piggy that has an outline distance, and then you have a piggy that doesn't. Okay, he fits right in there. So if you put this piggy, this mask over this piggy, like that, okay, you can then color it. But I would have to also block off the wings, which is another little thing I did earlier, so I already have a mask with the wings blocked off. But anyway, the tape also helps. And then you take your ink. Let me get my ink, my little sponge. So I'm going to use powder pink just for this little demo. And you can either put your sponge right onto the ink or a stamping block when your ink is very juicy. This ink is not very juicy. So I can just stamp right onto I can actually just rub right onto my stamp pad because this is not very juicy ink. And I'm going to just then color my little piggy. Okay, I can sponge color so many piggies at once. It's so easy because I just simply use a mask. Okay, but now it's better if I use, okay, so very easy. But let me show you now what I would use. I would use Mylar. So I've done tutorials on this before. Here's my Mylar mask, meaning it's made of plastic. I used the deep cut blade to cut these out, and let's just use the one with the wings. Okay, so with this one, I've cut them all out on the Mylar, but this one I put my wings on. See? I covered up the little wings of the piggy. Okay, so I just cut out, all I did for that was, instead of making a whole new mask, I just cut out a pair of wings and threw it on the piggy. So now so instead of me going too far, but I don't want to color the wrong part of the piggy. I mean, I don't want to color the wings. I want to put that down. I'm going to get in closer in a minute, but let me just show you this concept first without the glare here. And then we'll get in closer in just a minute. Okay, so I'm just trying to give you the overview before we get into nitty-gritty coloring. All right, so here we go. The pig is got our sponge, get some color, and now I'm just coloring the pig and not the wings. Okay, so I love that you can sponge color and get even color. And then what I do is it's okay to have a little bit of splotches because, it is a pig after all. But I do get pretty even color with my sponges. And then what I do is I go in and I can make the wings sparkle with some Wink of Stella. But I'm going to show you how we can color this pig in different colors in different ways. These pigs we just cut out. So here he is. I love him. And so then what I do, since this was powder pink, I have loads of markers, so I just take my marker that matches the sponge inking I was doing. So this is powder pink. This color is retiring, by the way. The only way to get this right now is, in the in color set, if it's even available anymore. But powder pink is part of the in color set that's retiring. Our colors stay around for 2 years. So now we have 5 new colors and 5 colors are retiring. And I love my colors and I keep my old markers, but some people choose to get rid of their old colors. Nope, I like my old colors because I have a lot of paper that is the old colors. So what I do is I just kind of go in and highlight. I go in and make the little legs a little darker. I make the back a little darker to fit, to fill in any lines that missed. Maybe the little tail a little darker, the hook, the snout, the ears. But if that's if you want. And then I take my Wink of Stella. That's my glitter brush that we sell, and it has lots of glitter in it. So when you first get it, this is my, I don't know, 3rd or 4th one. So there's a lot of glitter coming out. I kind of prefer them after they get a little bit weaker because the glitter doesn't ooze out as much, but it kind of dries 3D-ish. So that's how I make my little pigs, and then I stick them on a little wobble spring or something, and I put them on a bookmark. Or I can show you that. So I have these little springs that stick on my things, and I put those on a lot of my crafts. I can link to these. They're probably like $0.25 each. I don't know, but you know what? It's better than making them yourself. Some of my crafty friends are like, just make the springs yourself with some wire. You know what? I can't be bothered with for $0.25. So you stick the little wobble spring on them, and then I'm going to stick them on my bookmark that's already ready. And I have other things that I can write on here. I'm going to probably write some sentiments on them. I'm not sure. It depends on who I'm giving it to. If it's a regular customer, thank you. If it's something if it's one of my friends that's going through a hard time, I'm going to put Hold On to Hope. That's one of the stamp sets I use with this all the time, Hold On to Hope. And then I put a little banner in there, like a little love banner or something. that the piggy's saying that's hopeful, and then I can put the little message down there. So that's why I'm putting the pig up there, so I have room for the message. And the pig wobbles. Okay, so let's do some more coloring and kind of get into the mask a little bit. And let me turn the camera a little bit and just kind of show you some different kinds of pink you can use with these little piggies. And I'm really making these anyway for my project, so let's do it. And let's kind of compare what you can do with these things you just got used with your Brother ScanNCut. So we're going to use the mask. Oh, by the way, so I've been doing this for years now. This is the 3rd year this stamp set's been around. I won it as a prize. So excited. And I was using paper masks, so I just want to show you. So you can use a paper mask, just like I was showing you in the ScanNCut. This is no outline distance. And then you cut out a pair of wings and you stick that over. That's all I did here. So instead of making a separate mask, I just put a pair of wings over the mask. That works well too, but I did the same thing with Mylar. And so I'm using the Mylar one tonight because you can just wipe it right off. You know, today and tonight I'm gonna be coloring these till the cows come home, till the piggies come home. I mean, I'm gonna put some other samples in with my survival kit for my customers, but you know what? They are all getting a pig because the pig is cool. That's something I do every year in May. Any customers from that year, so like any customers in the year 2019 are going to get my survival kit. All right, so there is the mask. All right, let's put it back on. It keeps moving. I think I got all my ink over here hitting it, so let's put this one. We're going to use a different color now because I'm just reviewing how to do this. I'm actually going to so sometimes it's good to stick your mask down with a little piece of painter's tape. So now I'm going to show you like how it would really color if you have a new juicy ink pad from Stampin' Up. Oh, that's Flirty Flamingo. Don't use that one. Use this one. This one is a better piggy color. Petal Pink. In fact, I tried using Flirty Flamingo. It was way, way too dark for a pig. So Petal Pink is cool, and it really goes good with this paper we have called the Twinkle Twinkle Designer Series paper. So I do like Petal Pink. Okay, so I have Petal Pink. I have a sponge to match it. Now what I do when I have a really juicy stamp block, and it gives me a lot more control, I mean not juicy stamp block, juicy stamp pad, is I dip my stamp block into my stamp pad and I flip it over. And now I have control of how much ink I put on my sponge. See, there's a lot of ink on the sponge, but I can evenly cover. See, when I dip right into my ink, if it's not too juicy, that's fine. That worked fine for this old powder pink stamp pad. But it does not work for our new stamp pads. They're too juicy to dip right into. You get all kinds of blotchiness. So instead, I just sort of put it on my stamp block, then I rub my little sponge around it, and now I can do some coloring with it. This is called Petal Pink. Petal Pink is more orangey than it is pink. But I have 2 pieces of cardstock to show you where we compare those. Okay, I think that's good. I think I got, oops, the ear's way dark. But we go on. All we do to fix it is make the other ear dark. So that's what the little markers help me with. They help me even out my pig colors. Okay, I'm happy with that, and I think you get the idea how I can not color the wings and I colored the pig. So now I'll just get my marker and fix it. Okay. Okay, I'm just keeping that there for comparison of the 2 kinds of pink. All right, where's my Petal Pink marker? So I have a few pinks here. I pulled out my pinks for this. Okay, so let me see if my light works. That's a little better. And I can read them too. I need light to read this stuff with my reading glasses. So this one here is Powder Pink. It's a color that's retiring. This is Petal Pink, the one that's kind of more orangey. And this is a current color, and it's going to stay around in the next catalog, this Petal Pink. And then this one is Blushing Bride. I'm getting a stamp pad of that now. I did order one because I needed more pinks for all these pigs I'd color. Okay, so anyway, let's finish this Petal Pink one. And then just do the Wink of Stella. And so, I mean, it slipped a little. Really, I would be like sitting at a table and I would be concentrating more and not, but I'm doing a demo, so it's a weird, strange angle. All right, so that's good. I color my pig a little. It'll get a little lighter when it dries. Where's my Wink of Stella? So I put some glitter on my pig, and then I could put that one on a bookmark as well, or a tag. And then I have little stickers which say what my products are when I give out product samples. I didn't do that the first year. I've been a demo for 3 years. The first couple years, I sent out so many samples, and nobody even knew what they were, what stamp set they came from. So I learned my lesson, and now I'm putting stickers on things. I have loads and loads of labels. So I'm putting labels on things that explain where the stamps came from. Okay, so here's what it looks like. Oops. Let me close this ink. And once I get that Blushing Bride stamp pad, I'll be able to tell you. I can stick him on a spring. This ribbon here, so this is powder pink, petal pink. This ribbon here is called the polka dot tulle ribbon. It's also going to be in our next catalog, so yay for that. You can get lots of little piggies and transform them. Or if you want to be, if you're a simple stamper and you just are like, hey, this is cool, but I just want to send it through the mail. I don't want like a lot of things puffing up. You can just use a dimensional instead. In fact, I'll show you that because that's just fine too. These are Stampin' Up dimensionals. And then I'm even going to show you one other variation of this. So you just take your little foam dimensionals and you just stick them on the back, peel them off. I mean, so you don't need a whole lot of springs and fancy stuff. Just do that. And then here's another variation. Back to the powder pink. So this is very simple. For this one, I just took my mask, my acrylic, I think it was this one. Here's I just took the mask, this acrylic piece, and I colored my pig right straight onto the paper. So this is called, when you do that, see, it's just like that. It's just called tone on tone. So I took powder pink, retiring color. This is for a customer. She's probably watching. Okay, JS are her initials. I wanted her to be kind of surprised, but she's not going to be surprised now that I just said her initials. But anyway, so she's getting this in the mail, like for thanking her for her order. So this little tulle ribbon, and that's the little pig. So what I did is I took this powder pink here, and I took powder pink cardstock, and I put powder pink ink on the cardstock. So you don't even need a spring on this one, okay? And then I've been putting my labels now, explaining. This is going to be the new page for the next annual catalog. So if you have a current catalog, your page will be different. But trust me, this is the 3rd year it'll be in there. All right. I hope you understood what's going on with the Brother ScanNCut, how to cut out these cute little piggies. I hope you'll get the stamp set from me in the month of May so that you also get one of my survival kits in the month before the month of June. Thank you for watching. This is the Papered Chef.